So welcome to an episode of I Ain't No Nerd, because as we all know, I ain't no nerd. I do thug stuff. At any rate, we're here to do a non-spoiler review of the movie The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, which we all know. Robert Pattinson starred in those Twilight movies. You know, the little girls used to go crazy over Robert Pattinson playing Edward, the little twinkle, twinkle, little star vampire. It also stars Zoe Kravitz. She has a name of her own, but she's the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. Got a stepdad. Can we call Jason Momoa her stepdad? She was kind of old when her dad got with him. At any rate, stars Paul Dano. Also, Colin Farrell as Penguin. Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. It also stars Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. It also stars Peter Skarsgård as Gil Coulson. Little fun factoid here. A lot of people may not know it, but Peter Skarsgård is actually married to Maggie Gyllenhaal, who is also a Batman alumni herself, as she starred as Rachel Dawes in The Dark Knight. And it has the newcomer, Jamie Lawson, as Bela Riel, the mayor-elect of Gotham City. As we get started with this review of the movie, The Batman, he's using fear as a tool, as he says in the film. He not only hides in the shadows, but he is the shadows. He wants all the criminal element in Gotham City to quake in fear and to change their direction and become upright, outstanding citizens. But as we know, Gotham City has always had a bad reputation, and it needs to be purged of its criminal element. As we can see in the trailers, the criminal element preys in packs, and the Batman is not afraid to go after them 1 on 10 or 1 on 20, whatever the case may be. Batman, he's like, I'm going against the odds. I'm the Batman. I have all the money and all the tools to sit up here and beat up a pack of men in a few punches. You know, this is a very brutal film. I'm not going to say it's the most brutal. It's up there, though. More brutal than those really colorful movies that Schumacher made in the 90s. I really didn't like those. But this one right here, it feels really grounded. Batman talks about how he is vengeance. You know, he goes about Gotham City trying to strike fear in the hearts of the criminal element. Once again, keep in mind that when the movie starts, you can tell that he's only been Batman for about 2 years. And he's already partnered up with James Gordon. But James Gordon is not commissioner yet. He is merely a lieutenant. However, he is trying to gain the respect of his fellow police officers. This is a really good take. I love how they had a black man playing James Gordon. Not that he had to be black, but Jeffrey Wright is an outstanding actor. Batman himself, Bruce Wayne, is into forensics. He's not quite the detective that he will become, but we can see the beginning stages of that in this film. Also, Batman is traumatized in this film. He keeps a journal because he has to force himself to remember the night before, because the world of Gotham City is so grim. As the movie progresses, Bruce Wayne is trying to reconcile his Batman with who he is. He becomes a recluse as Bruce Wayne. He's the prince of Gotham, yet the prince is hardly ever seen in a town that's essentially his by birthright. As he progresses through the film even further, he comes across what would be his kindred spirit in Selina Kyle, the Catwoman. Even though she never calls herself the Catwoman, we can see through the imagery of the film that she has an affinity for cats. I think it goes without saying. But I'm going to tell you this, boy. That Zoe Kravitz, boy. She going to give Pfeiffer a run for her money, boy. I ain't seen, we seen Anne Hathaway don the cat and Halle Berry don the cat. but it was just something about seeing Zoe Kravitz in that skin tight bodysuit. She really, man, all I can say is Pfeiffer, you need to bow down. Your replacement is now here. That's all I'm going to say. But at any rate, as the movie goes deeper down the rabbit hole, or should I say the bat cave, the Riddler is causing havoc. He is trying to destroy the false images of the people who are in power in this corrupt city of Gotham. And I won't go into who he kills and how he kills them, but this version of the Riddler is the most diabolical that I have ever seen. He's not cartoony at all. He even has a social media following, which I think is cool. The tech in this movie is retro and yet future tech. I love how when they display the technology in this film, it doesn't look like it's anything outside of your grasp, but at the same time, it's something you've never seen before because it does have a retro look to it. Even when the Batmobile comes on the scene, you have to see this movie in Dolby Digital sound because it makes a sound I've never heard a vehicle or anything make. The sound special effects department or the sound effects department, they went out of their way to give that Batmobile a different sound, something that you've never ever heard before. And you can just feel it penetrate your spirit if you're sitting in the theater. Hopefully you can get in the center of the theater because you can feel the sound reverberating all the way around. But this movie, image-wise, is such an awesome film. I can't get over enough the use of shadow in the film, the way that they always meet at dawn or just before night. It's never really truly established in the film, but they're talking. Even the bat signal is like makeshift because Gordon is the one calling the Batman. Like I said, he's the only one on the police department that has that relationship. Everybody else is like, you're dealing with this freak. Leave this freak alone if you want to be one of us, Gordon. Gordon's like, forget y'all. All right, we're going to meet on the rooftop. He tells Batman, we're going to meet on the rooftop in a little bit. But like I said, the imagery of this movie, the way the Riddler was portrayed, everything about this screams real world grounded. I thought the Nolan films pulled that off really well. This film pulls it off really well. So many different elements. It's even a fight scene with the Batman and some of the Riddler's goons from social media where they're in this dark hallway and he's just beating them up while these machine guns are going off full auto spray. Very good use of the darkness and the light where you can just see the fight taking place based off of the light from the barrel of the guns. I love how this movie was directed. I'm going to give this a thumbs up. You got to go see this film. I don't want to spoil it. I just wanted to give a quick review of what was going on in this film. And I love how it doesn't tie everything up with a nice bow. You'll see what I'm talking about when you go see the film. It leaves it open for so many other sequels to come along. So please go check out this film. Leave your thoughts on it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Come check me out on I Ain't No Nerd, because I ain't no nerd. I do thug stuff. We out.
Today I got time, cuz.